Hello, and welcome to episode 56 of My Mom, Sandy. We're your hosts. I am Josh Fasten.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are we starting over or is this it?
We're rebranding.
Yeah, I don't know that I like it. It's
I'm sorry.
Kind of like over the top.
Well,
it kind of gives the expectation of something great's going to happen. That's how I'm like, you know what?
And the woman next to me has spent, didn't think this one through. She has switched news networks. This is My Mom, Sandy.
Yes.
I said episode 56.
You did say
I introduced myself.
I don't know.
I said I'm
Should
Josh.
we play it back?
I'm Josh Fasten.
I don't know. But anyway, we know who you are. I'm your mom, Sandy, and you're Josh.
Here, you do it. You bring us in. You give us the intro.
No, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do it?
No. Let's go on. Come on. We don't have all night.
I mean, from last episode, we have...
I know, but I don't know.
We have 90 more. We have 90 more minutes.
I know, but we hadn't talked for like 2 weeks. Now, we got
nothing
3 weeks. Now we got nothing to talk about.
All right. So, I have some, so it's Monday night, 9:00. This will go up, tonight or early Tuesday morning.
November 30th.
December 1st. Rent's due tomorrow. That's never fun. So I have some like fun stuff to talk about, and then we'll get into like the heavy duty stuff.
Crappy shit.
Right?
Yeah.
So the fun stuff. So is that good? Does that work for you?
Sure.
Okay, great. So the first thing I saw...
You read the show anyway,
Yeah.
so go ahead.
There was a news article, and you said, I think you were like, I don't believe this.
I don't know what you're referring to, but no, I don't know what you're talking about.
So there was a news article that said...
that Bigfoot lives in Idaho?
God, did I get rid of it?
Space aliens are coming to get us?
I might have gotten rid of it. So essentially what it was, why would I have gotten rid of it? That makes no sense.
I don't know. I play with your phone every now and again.
All right, so essentially what it said was that... no, that's not the button I want. That's not the button I want either. Is that minks, like are they like foxes?
The little animals, yeah.
That they, I forget. I mean, I have no information here. Wherever they were, right?
Yeah.
They were from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that they were getting COVID.
Yeah.
And then they were coming back from the dead.
Oh yeah, I didn't believe the coming back from the dead part, but
they were rising again. The second rising.
So now there's another article. I should believe it now. If they give us article after article after article, eventually I will believe it.
Well,
Google wants me to do.
It explained in
Facebook.
the article that it was actually because the gases that were being released and they were actually rising up out of the ground. But
how long does it take for those gases to release, and why are they buried?
There was a mass mink burial.
A mass mink suicide.
What is it? What is plural?
Jamestown for the minks.
What is plural for mink?
Minkai.
Minky.
Minky. I like Minky. That's good.
He was Mickey's cousin.
Minky.
Mickey and Minky.
Oh, you're just too much. I forgot we laugh on this podcast.
We do some laughing.
Yeah.
So, it was funny because I read the headline, and the headline made it seem like it was like zombies. Like it was like the fucking...
Well, yeah, I mean, when you make it sound like they're dead, they're buried, and then they raise up out of the grave.
I don't mean to say this because this is going to sound semi-insensitive, and I don't mean it to come across that way, but what a fucked up world if like next spring, like however many hundred thousands of Americans that have like died from COVID just start rising from the dead, from the grave.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
It'd be terrifying. Okay, moving on.
Well, unless I don't know. Do you believe in zombies?
There's a giant object that is flying by Earth tomorrow morning at like 4 a.m. And NASA...
Should we get up to see it?
And NASA, they said what they thought it was they thought it was I guess it's moving, it's fairly close to Earth, and they thought it was an asteroid, but it's not. And when they asked NASA what it is, NASA said, we don't really know. We don't really know.
Whatever. Well, that's interesting. Is it dangerous?
Well, no, because it's not. Well, they don't know what it is.
Will we see it?
So maybe.
What part of the sky is it in? And is that 4 a.m. Eastern time, Pacific time?
There's a NASA website.
What is it?
What? Oh, so here.
Greenwich Mean Time.
So, why is this not loading? Come on.
24-hour clock?
You know what they actually think it is?
What?
So it will be 3:50 a.m. Eastern.
So
1250.
So 1250. Oh, I'll be up. Let me write that down.
What they
what sky is it in though?
It's gonna be 31,000 miles away.
That doesn't sound very far.
No, really not. And it was believed to be an asteroid measuring 15 to 33 feet across. But they begin to postulate.
It's not very big, but go ahead.
That it was not an asteroid or even a natural body.
So maybe it's like an old spaceship or something.
So instead, the CNEOS, that stands for the Center for Near Earth Object Studies.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
The director, Paul Chodas?
Chodas? I'd show your ass.
Chodas. How would you say that? CHODAS. Chodas?
Chodas.
Paul Chodas.
Chodas. You could say Chodas.
He's on... I was saying Chodas.
Chodas.
He's on the record saying he believes the object is the Centaur rocket booster from NASA's failed Surveyor 2 lunar mission, which launched September 20th, 1966.
Wow, it's been floating around up there all that time?
Crazy, right?
That's almost as old as I am.
What year were you born?
I'm not telling you. I have to figure it out. If I'm only 49, I'd have to do the math.
But kind of crazy, huh? I mean,
yeah.
I think the fact that they don't know.
But can we see it? Is it something that we could see with a visible eye?
I mean, I don't know.
Looks like a shooting star. What does it look like? No idea.
Trash, space trash.
Does it not say that? Like look in the northwest sky.
I mean, you got to figure it's 31,000 miles away. How far away is the closest planet? Like how far away is the moon?
I have no idea.
And this thing, and what they said, this thing is 15 feet. So
by 33.
So it's like this, and you're like 31,000 miles away. You're like, oh yeah, I see it. There it is.
There it is. Get out
that's the gas tank.
How do you get out the binoculars? You'll see it better.
That's the gas tank from the lunar mission in '66.
No, you don't need the telescope. I wonder.
It's like a toilet from the.
I mean, how would we
spaceship.
even? Why are they telling us that? Then, like, if you see it in the sky, you'll know what it is.
No, I mean, I think honestly, the article was kind of make it sound like, oh, of course, given the year, we wouldn't know what it is. It's flying by Earth.
There you go. No, it's not the first time science has failed us, right?
Exactly. All right. So, zombies check. UFOs check. Okay, moving on. So, on one of the episodes, we talked about my neighbor. She had made some vegan cinnamon rolls.
Yes.
I don't want to say her name. She was very nice. I have not seen her in weeks. So...
Well, rent is due tomorrow, so...
Yeah, but I mean, like, I haven't even seen, like, a light on in the apartment. I'm thinking she could be dead. And I don't know if I should call someone.
Well, maybe you should just text your landlord. He lives right on the other side of her.
But I feel like if he's not... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they share a wall. Like, if he's not concerned, you know?
Well, maybe he doesn't go out of his place. Maybe.
No, he does. I see him.
Maybe he doesn't notice as much
His name
as
is
you
Bala.
do. Mala?
Bala.
Bala?
Bala. In the back of your throat. Bala.
Stop it, Bala. All right. I'd maybe text him and just say, I know this sounds stupid, but I haven't seen my neighbor.
I'm going to say
our neighbor in like a month. And
the welcome mat. The welcome mat's gone. She used to have this really nice welcome mat, and I peeked in, and she had a cat. The cat's like dead. It's like rotting.
Oh, no, stop it. That's not true.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Was the welcome mat gone, really?
I don't think they ever had one. I get the impression that, like, when she moved, like, I believe she has a man, like a boyfriend or a daddy. That's what they call them now. Daddies.
All of them?
I don't know.
Even if they're not old enough to be your daddy, you're still a daddy?
I feel like she, like, spends the time with him a lot. Although, I mean, he would be the first one because I don't want to get him arrested. That's weird. Okay, moving on.
I'm going to tell you, oftentimes I think about stuff like that. I watch all these ID shows and Dateline and Buried in the Backyard, and
the thing about Sandy was
exactly. But her
glasses were the exact right size for her face.
What I kind of get concerned about is God forbid you should ever like be dating somebody or be married to somebody and they go missing. Because like you would be, especially if you were the last person to see him, like they'd try to make a case against you. I mean, every time it's always the spouse or the boyfriend or the girlfriend, you know.
There was this great podcast I listened to a few years ago I think it was called Serial.
Yeah.
You ever hear about that? Oh, you're taking a sip.
No.
So it was about the case of this guy, Adnan Syed, I believe was his name. And he was a student. And one of his, I don't know if he was romantically involved with the girl or not, but she went missing.
Yeah.
And I think they ended up finding her body. And somebody had said that he had done it or that he had something to do with it. And when the police, I guess, questioned him, he was like, no, I had nothing to do with it. And then they were like, well, can you tell us about the day? And I guess for him, he was like, I don't remember what I did that day. And they were like,
well, that's just as bad as I was home alone all day.
well, right. But
so who can verify that? Nobody.
The problem was that his thing was like, he's like, this was just like any other day. Yeah. Right. There was nothing special. There was nothing that stood out. There was nothing that
he didn't go to work or anything.
I think, maybe it was like that thing of like, oh, I went to school. I saw these people. I went home. Like it wasn't like anything eventful.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to the podcast thinking in my head, like, God, could I, like if someone came back to you, right?
Yeah.
And it's one thing to remember like, oh, what'd you do last week?
Yeah.
Right. But like, could you go back 6 months and be like,
no.
All right, what did you do on, or let's just say 3 months. Right? Hey, what did you do on Thursday in July?
No.
You have no fucking idea.
No.
And unless something eventful happened.
Yeah.
Right? So.
I mean, I know the day that my mother's house closed escrow.
Yeah. And
I know my birthday.
Right.
But besides that, and to be honest, I don't even think I did anything on my birthday. I can't even remember what I did do on my birthday. But, no, I would not remember anything like that.
Precisely.
I know it is weird when that occurs. And on top of that, if you can't remember and or you have, I was home all evening. I played video games. Well, can anybody verify that? Yeah, I can.
The video game system.
I can't really.
And I better
was
hope to God that one of my friends saw me online that night,
Yeah, but you could be doing that from anywhere. You could remotely do that.
Or even just turn it on and leave.
Yeah. Anyway, it's kind of gives you reason to think, I think. All
right, you ready to move on?
Yes.
God, we are fucking jet setting here. Okay, I have two things and then we'll get into it. Unless you have some light stuff before we get into the heavy stuff. I bought myself a Apple HomePod Mini, and it's like this little thing, like
that tracks your every move,
circular round thing, and it's right by the front door, and yeah, you can ask it to like play music. You can ask it to set a timer, add stuff to your shopping list, what time it is. But what's really interesting was that it's in my living room, right? And I was in the bedroom the other day, and I was talking, and I was like, oh, I wonder what time it is. I have this whole plan that I want to get rid of the alarm clock in the bedroom and get a second HomePod Mini for the bedroom. So that, because then you can play them both as like speakers, so you can have like one song kind of playing in like the whole house, right? Which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then I have like my Apple Watch, my phone.
Well, why do you want to get rid of the clock?
Because I don't really use it. Like
do you ever look at it to see what time it is?
Well, right, but like my phone's always there, and then my Apple Watch is right next to where that is, and the Apple Watch sits and charges, so you can like tap it and it'll like give you the time.
Okay, so all right, so you're in the bedroom.
So I'm in the bedroom, and the HomePod Mini is in the living room,
and it hears you.
No, and I said, and I was just like, oh, I wonder if this would even work. And I go, so you had the Siri, like that's how Apple works. They have Siri. Yeah. So you say, hey, I don't want to activate on my phone, but hey.
Yeah, I know, but
then I said,
stupid phone is like, they're tracking us, they're listening to us, they're recording every fucking thing we say.
So I said, hey Siri.
Oh my God.
What time is it? And I was just talking like that.
Yeah.
And literally, I had music playing in the living room, and the music stopped, and it goes, the time is now 7:04 p.m. And I was like, how the fuck did that hear me? So I'm on the grid now. I'm on the grid. I'm gonna probably get a second one. Because I just like, this is great being able to like listen.
I want everybody to be able to track everything I do. I'll tell you, Nancy Neighbor, when I used to watch her cat, they had Siri.
Wait, Siri?
No, Alexa. Did they? I think they had Alexa. Is that Alexa? Is that Google?
No, Alexa I think is Amazon.
Anyway, they
it doesn't matter.
They had one of them, and it was weird because I always felt like it knew when I was there, and like every now and again, like I'd hear like conversations on it, like of people I had no idea who they were. I heard that once, and then one time I was there.
Those are the ghosts.
And music came on like really loud, like some Ricky Martin song, you know.
She bangs,
something like that, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck, man. And then it went off, and it was like, okay, I don't even know how to operate it. And
I was at Peter's the other day, and they have like all the Google devices, so like same thing, right? So he has a couple down. He has like one or two downstairs, and then there's one upstairs, and I think there's one in the living. I don't know, whatever. But are
we so lazy that we can't like turn the lights on ourselves? Or
well, no, I mean I think it's more so for music, right? Like it's essentially like really great sounding speakers that you can like talk to and have them play music. I'm not having it, scratch my back, although, I mean,
no,
the Tesla
does that.
The Tesla does it. The little hand that lives in the glove box.
That's right. No, it doesn't live in the glove box.
It lives under the steering column.
It lives in the steering column.
Yeah.
Stop. It's a little
I get in the car.
mini man.
I get in the car. Hello, Josh. Would you like me to stroke your penis? Oh, fuck, I don't know. Why not?
No, I think I need a back scratch today.
My back's actually been kind of
you did
sore.
my penis yesterday.
All it's been lately, Tesla, is just penis. Could you just touch my back and
right.
say something nice to me once in a while? Fuck.
Really? Caress my head, please.
And what I was joking with him because his kids were downstairs and they were playing, and I said, wouldn't it be because there's like an intercom feature where you can talk to the speakers and you can like broadcast a message through the house.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I was like broadcasting. And he's like, well, yeah, what do you want me to say? And I was like, T-minus 10 minutes till detonation, So he's like, hey Google, can I broadcast? And it's like, yeah, what would you like to broadcast? He's like, T-minus 10 minutes until detonation. So then I like walked over to like the stairway so I could hear it. Yeah. And then it was just like, like just comes up and it's like, T-minus 10 minutes until detonation. And I was like, this thing is incredible, If I had kids, my kids would hate me. They'd be like, Dad, the house is not going to blow up. I'm like, guys, we got it. And it'd be like T-minus 1 minute. I'm like, we got to get out of the house. We got to go.
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about those things. I just don't like them.
Okay, moving on.
I feel like they. Again,
I just wanted to tell you. I wanted to let you know.
Well, now I'm never coming to your house because now I feel like then I'm going to be tracked.
All right, so we talked zombies, UFOs,
blah,
death,
blah 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 blah.
Technology.
Blah, blah.
Now I got a good one. Tell everyone about the problem with your shoes. Okay, you ordered some new shoes. Tell everyone what's going on. And then if anyone can help out, we're going to try to get them to help out.
Okay, so
tell everyone what's going on.
I have a fucked up foot, okay? Fucked up foot. Apparently I broke it years ago. I think I've said this before. I broke it years ago, didn't know I broke it. Finally had it x-rayed a year ago. The doctor said you got to go see a podiatrist. So I haven't gone. I had to sell my mother's house first. He said it's going to involve surgery.
You've been busy.
I've been busy. And then we went into COVID. So it's like, the last thing I want to do
is... It'd be a great time right now, actually, to probably get your fucked up foot. Do they call it a fuff?
A fuff. That's right. It's a fuff.
He comes in with a...
It's a fuff. Your fuff is looking really good today.
He comes in with a clipboard. Sandy? Yeah. Well, good news and bad news. Your fuff is a little inflamed.
We need to amputate your fuff today.
We're going to need to work a little bit on your fuff. Let me just rub 2 fingers along your fuff. Just tell me how that feels. Can you feel that at all?
Oh my God.
Do me a favor, Sandy. This is going to sound weird, but if you could just lay it down on your back, I'm going to just try to see if I can stimulate your fuff with my tongue.
Stop it. Oh, now you're getting gross.
What's your doctor say?
I'm not telling you. So anyway, so I saw these shoes. So 2 years ago, Josh got me a pair of shoes, for Christmas.
We went to now you wear Skechers.
Well, you actually had the opportunity to.
I did some bargaining.
Yes.
Yeah.
To get a pair of Skechers, and since you don't wear them.
Nobody really wears them, but that's okay. That's okay.
Well, I don't really have a shoe that I wear.
Right. So you got some Skechers and they fit nicely.
And they fit nicely, and I can put it. My left foot is like it's bigger than the right foot.
Is
it's
the left foot
wider.
the fuff?
Yes.
Okay, left foot is the fuff. Left fuff.
It's the left fuff. So anyway, so we got this pair of shoes and they've been really comfortable, but they need to be, it's been 2 years. They're, it's the only pair of shoes I wear. So I need to replace them. So I'm looking, of course, they don't make them anymore. So I find a pair that I think looks similar to them, and it's got the mesh, so that I'm thinking, they're kind of relaxed fit, So anyway, they were like $95. We tried several different times to, Skechers sends me all the special emails, 30% off.
Yeah, we're on to you, Skechers. Off. None of your fucking promo codes work.
Yeah, so yeah.
What a joke. You can't say, here's this promo code for 30% off, and then you enter the promo code, and it doesn't work. And it's not just that it doesn't work for those specific shoes, it doesn't work for fucking any shoes.
Well, on top of that, then you even join their elite club because it's 25% off your purchase.
And yeah, please fucking send me nonstop Skechers emails. That's what I need in my email box. All I need to do is be on like a date with like a cute, successful woman and have her be like, "Oh, are you getting some email?" And I just have fucking 10 Skechers emails. She, you
can probably unsubscribe.
I've already done that.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so the shoes were like $95 and I didn't really want to pay that. And so anyway, none of the coupons worked. They finally went on sale for like $56.
It was like a Black Friday thing, right? Or something?
Yeah, it was Black Friday.
So you bought two pairs because you were so sure.
I bought one pair and then I thought, well, you know what? For that price, I should just go ahead and get a second pair because by the time I need them, they won't make them anymore. Yeah. So one pair came on Sunday, one pair came today, and they don't fit. They're fucked up. So now I have to...
Just like that foot.
That's right. It's fucked up shoes now. It's a fuff and a fuss.
All right, so the whole idea behind this is that if you're a listener and you have any idea for what Sandy can wear on those thick, wide fuffs.
Hello.
I thought you were gonna spit iced tea.
No, God, no. But thank God I have this spit catcher here.
So if you guys have any idea what she could wear on those thick ass fuffs, shoot us an email.
I need a loose fitting shoe. I mean,
but you want it to be like, you want it to be, let's be transparent here. You're not looking for like Vans or Converse. Like you're looking for like a comfortable, like a walking shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something you can put some miles on.
It needs to be white, unfortunately. Shoelaces.
It's very on brand with you.
Well, that's because I wear white socks all the time in squirts. And so it's like, what am I going to wear? Red shoes? So could you imagine me with the white socks or the red shoes?
I would imagine you with one red shoe, one white shoe. You could put the red shoe on the it's like when
on the
in hockey when they wear the red no contact jersey. That's like a red no contact like a shoe. Like it means the
really?
fuff is
leave the fuff alone.
Yeah, like it makes people like if you're like dancing or something or someone's like running past you, it's like, oh, don't be careful of that. That's your fuff. So if you guys know of any kind of shoes, I'm trying to get her to go to maybe a Nike or an Adidas, but it's just go to these stores and try shit on.
Now we're COVID, and it's like like I thought about going to the Skechers store. They've got that big what do they call it? Warehouse.
Yeah, it's like an outlet warehouse thing.
Yeah. But I thought about it last week and then I'm like, COVID cases are spiking. I mean, it's probably not a good time to be out shopping.
Perfect segue. I like that. But if you guys have any shoe recommendations for Sandy, hold on. mymomsandypodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. Or hit us up on Instagram, whatever. @mymomsandypodcast. But she needs some new shoes. And my goal is to get her a pair of shoes for Christmas. She needs fucking something because the fuff ain't getting any better.
The fuff is not getting better.
And if you listen, I mean, coincidentally, if you listen and you're a podiatrist, let's come to the house. Come to the house.
Send us a Instagram message, a DM.
Rodman shows up with a fucking stethoscope and like a
I'm
shoe horn.
Podiatrist
a
today.
shoe horn and a stethoscope. He's like, "Hi, did someone call for a podiatrist?" And I'm like, "Wait, Rodman, it's you." He's like, "No, it's not."
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like, "Who are you?" He's like,
and Rodman liked our last...
Dr. Amiri? I'm like, right, Rodman Amiri. He's like, well, I just R. Amiri. I'm just like, Rodman, I know it's you. He's like, I'm a fucking podiatrist. Let me examine your mom's fuff.
Really? The fuff is calling. All right. You said Rodman really liked our last podcast.
Thanks for listening, Rodman.
Yeah, thanks, Rodman.
If all we got to do is mention your name once in every episode to keep you listening,
And we'll mention you and we'll mention Cousin Brian.
I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, all we got to do is mention my cousin Brian, my best friend Rodman, Sandy's Fuff.
Sandy's Fuff. By the way, I don't know if I told you that I spoke to my high school friend Ellie last night. Did I tell you that?
No, I guess we talked briefly this morning. No, you did not. You did not tell me.
Yeah. So I reconnected with Ellie. It was fun.
How was that?
It was good.
Is she willing to? Wait, she was on the podcast, right? We called her.
No,
that was Maxine.
That was Maxine.
Yeah. So did you record it?
I asked her if she would be willing to come on a podcast with
What'd
me.
She say?
She said, "Yeah."
Let's call her.
Make
Get her on the phone. We'll change.
Well, we have to make arrangements. She's in New York.
Did you record the conversation?
No.
All right, let's go ahead.
Why would I do that?
Let's go ahead and go to the conversation with my mom Sandy and my mom Sandy's friend Ellie now.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. I didn't record it. I didn't think that would really. I should have. When she answered the phone, I should have said, "This is my mom Sandy. You're on a recorded line."
You're on my mom Sandy live.
Anyway, yeah. So it was fun. It was nice talking to her. We reminisced about old times and kind of caught up on like where her family is and she lives in New York. She's not afraid. She says I asked her about the crime there. She said she didn't think it was bad. She lives in Manhattan and she works. She has a job at Bergdorf Goodman.
DSW shoes? Is that what you just said?
No, Bergdorf Goodman. It's
John Goodman's brother? Bergdorf?
Berg. They call him Berg for short.
Bergie.
Bergie Goodman. Anyway, yeah,
that's exciting.
She's doing well. She's got a son who's in the restaurant business, and it's been a tough time, I guess, through the COVID with the restaurant business.
Well, let's get her on a show. Ellie, is she still listening?
I don't know how up to date she is. I mean, I would strongly suggest, because she lives close enough to work. She says it's about a 15-minute walk. And I was thinking when we got off our phone call that it would be nice if she spent 15 minutes each way listening to my mom Sandy.
Yeah, I don't feel like, because also if you listen to time and a half or 2 times, you can knock that shit out in 30 minutes.
2 times to me is too fast.
2 times is too fast?
Yeah. It's like, what did I say?
I actually listen to all my podcasts on 1.5. And I will say we are funnier on 1.5.
I think so too.
We're good.
Yeah.
Cause it's
quick.
Wow, they're so quick.
They're so fast.
They must have, did they rehearse this?
Yeah. She said she enjoyed the podcast.
And,
good. Yeah. So I don't really know how religiously she listens to it, but that's all right. I mean, it was funny because she's married. She's been married for 30 years. Wow. Congratulations. I told her, I said, that's something in this day and age. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that many people that have been married that long, except my older brother. But yeah, so it was nice. It was really nice talking to her, reminiscing, and like I said, she's a New Yorker, but she likes the West Coast as well. She grew up here, so.
You have quite the circle of friends. I feel like, between Maxine, Ellie, your friend Terry, I feel like it would be good if you talked to these people a couple times a week or once a week, and just kind of played the catch-up game.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You sound thrilled.
Yeah, no. I mean, it is. I mean, I am trying to do that. I'm trying to be more connected with people, especially now with, the COVID thing.
Penny. You should have called Penny.
I know. I haven't called Penny. I meant to talk to Terry because Terry knows Penny.
Yeah, but I don't know if they talk.
No, I don't think they talk, but I meant to tell her that when I spoke to her that I had kind of briefly been in touch with Penny, but yeah, that would be nice to reconnect with her as well. But we're all getting old.
I feel the same way. All right, are you ready to get into the next?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it was nice. I was going to tell you when I called there. She said, I said, Ellie, and she said, yeah. She said, yeah. I said, do you know who this is? And she goes, yeah, my mom Sandy.
Boom, boom.
And then later in the conversation, I guess her husband was probably, wondering who she was talking to, and she goes, it's my mom Sandy. So maybe he's listened to our podcast as well.
Better be careful with that one, Ellie, because we'll come after you for trademark infringement.
Yeah. Anyway, she said she'd love to
copyright infringement.
She'd love to copyright. Yeah, she'd love to be on the podcast. So we'll have to make some plans at some point.
Yeah. Well, just tell her we recorded on Monday, and just find out a time that's good for her, and we'll work around her schedule.
Yeah.
And we'll just do
I just don't know if she has, I mean, we shared a lot of stuff for sure in high school and in junior high school, or what do they call it now? Middle school.
Junior high.
But I don't, I'm just wondering if she has like good stories to tell about me. I mean, like I said, there's some stories that, that she could tell very easily. That may not be very flattering to me.
Yeah. We'll have fun.
I don't think she would do that. I mean, she wouldn't do that on purpose, but my point is this, is that there may not be good stories to tell. They may be all crappy stories.
It's not, it's not live. Right. So
we can just cut it right out.
Yeah. I'll just like edit things. Like all of a sudden, like the episode will be like, Ellie will be like, yeah, it was so weird when I was hanging out with Sandy and she was snorting cabbage.
Or something. Yeah. We just cut it right out. All right. So anyway, that'll be fun.
So let's get into the meat and potatoes of all this. We have, as issued on Friday, a brand new stay-at-home order for, I don't know if it's LA County or if it's all of California. I think it's all of California.
Mm-mm.
No? I think it is.
I don't know what the fuck's
all right, so we have, okay,
so it's so confusing. It's like what,
maybe it's like, I don't know, fucking,
does that start today or last week? I mean, they close indoor dining like everywhere in the purple.
So we talked about that.
The orange.
We talked about that. So,
is like red the worst?
I thought purple was the worst.
Is it? Why do they make purple the worst?
It's pretty.
They like to see purple on the map. Matter of fact, we want more purple on the map.
All right, so today's Monday. So this is just for LA County. I don't know what California is doing right now, but LA County's new stay-at-home restrictions took effect Monday, one day after the county reported more than 5,000 new COVID-19 cases. The county announced 5,014 new cases and 16 additional deaths on Sunday. There are 2,049 hospitalized with COVID-19 in the county. So obviously the numbers continue to rise. All right. So your friend, Dr. Farrer, she said that if this doesn't work, if 2 to 3 weeks from now we find ourselves in a worse place, then we're going to have to go back and look at what else do we do?
Yeah, why don't you look at the science, Dr. Ferrer?
All right, so here's what I wanted to say. Wait, how does this? Oh, okay, here we go. So so this is what I thought was interesting, and I want to get into this and I want to chat about it because I think that it's an interesting time to do this. The new order says people should not gather. Was that your foot?
That is my foot.
Was that the fuff?
That's the fuff.
Jesus.
Don't touch it.
Bigger than I thought it was going to be.
It's way bigger.
The new order says people should not gather with anyone outside their own household.
Well, you better get your ass out of here.
It actually goes on to say that public and private gatherings outside of your own household are banned. It also orders essential retail.
Wait. What the fuck does that mean? That means I can't run into my neighbor across the street. Is that a?
Oh, but interestingly enough, outside church services are allowed as well as protests protected by the Constitution. It also orders essential retail businesses limited to 35% capacity and 20% for non-essential retail, which I'm assuming that's where I fall in. Gyms can stay open at 50% capacity, but are only allowed to operate outdoors. This order, this order goes until December 20th.
Do you think they take a? I mean, I almost feel like they take a hat and they put all these scenarios in the hat and write it on little pieces of paper, and then they go around the room and say, okay, you pick. Oh, look, 50% capacity for gyms. Yay. All right. That's the new rule. Oh, look, 20% capacity for non-essential businesses.
Oh, playgrounds and card rooms are also closed.
Closed, of course. But I'll bet strip clubs are open.
What I think is interesting is,
are they? They probably are.
I don't think so. Let me look that up. Can you talk really quick?
Yeah. Are strip clubs open? Is that good? Did I talk enough for you?
Funny person, huh?
I have to clear my throat.
Don't do it into the mic.
Oh, excuse me. Hold on 1 second, you guys. That just made it worse. Yeah, I know for a while strip clubs were open and churches were closed. I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Unless they have 6 foot, 6 foot social distancing.
So I'm not getting any recent news. Everything's dated. Here's what I think is interesting, and I mean I don't really want to sit here and talk about strip clubs, but I think that first off, let me say that like we lost. We fucked this up. We did not come out and have a fucking response that was like, hey, let's be okay. A, B, shit now is 100 times worse than shit was in March and April. And in March and April, people were like, it was stay at home. Like you were like, everything was closed. Every fucking business was closed.
Well, grocery stores were open.
Right. Well, okay.
Amazon was open. Target was open.
Amazon's not like, okay. But what I'm saying is like,
you get
everything, right? I don't know at this point. I imagine that they're not just reaching into a hat. I think that what they're doing is they're trying to figure out how do we stop it? How do we keep people from being around? And here's the fucked up thing. How do we keep people away from being around each other? And let's try to just damage control for as long as we can until we get a fucking vaccine. And I still don't think that the vaccine is going to be like the end all be all answer. I hope it is, but and then here's the fucked part, right? Here's the thing that's really fucked up that I am starting to have an issue with. And look, obviously, I mean, we're breaking the fucking stay-at-home order right now. Like we're not in the same household.
Don't say it. They could come and get us after the fact. They have proof now. And once you post this, it's gonna be proof for everybody. Anybody could call and report us to the COVID cops.
Hey, Gavin Newsom.
Really, Gavin Newsom. We're breaking the rules. Or were those Garcetti rules? Or Barbara Ferrer rules?
It was Newsom. So I think that I almost think that it's like cruel to especially this time of year to say to people who have been in some sort of, whatever you want to call it for the last 9 months, right? Quarantine, lockup, lockdown, stay. I guess it would be what would we lockdown?
Stay up, stay down.
If you're in a stay up. I think it's cruel at this time of year to say, A, restaurant workers cannot work.
Well, and I don't really think there's science that proves that.
B,
that's an issue. That's the problem. I just don't think, like I heard a stat last week that there's far more people that get COVID who work in government offices than who dine outdoors. So, I don't know what the exact stats are, but it's like, okay, are we going to close government offices? If you tell me those are essential businesses and we need to keep them open, then my thought is, well, then, why can't we? And especially, you're going to keep gyms open, but you can't eat outdoors?
I mean, look, I think
I
think the gym thing is, well, I see the thing about eating outdoors is that people are taking their masks on and off. Gyms are fine because they're like, well, the people are outdoors and you're supposed to have masks on when you're working out outside. But here's the issue with gyms is that if you're fucking outside, if you're outside exercising at a gym,
you're breathing hard.
But it's not even that. You're now gathering. That is a gather. It's not like you're
more
out.
Than one person.
You're not in the parking lot of the fucking of Gold's Gym solo.
Yeah.
There's other people around you. So
they shouldn't be operating the dance studio across the street.
100%. Right?
So wait, what is it? You can't gather? You can't have more than one person gather?
Yeah. Public and private gatherings are prohibited. Public and private gatherings of any kind are prohibited. So think about this, right?
It's like I can't go to my friend's house.
So like, for example, Christmas, right? We talked about Christmas. I think we talked about how Sam was going to drive down, right? She might drive down with, she has a boyfriend, a guy friend, a fella.
Yeah, a fella.
And he's in a household. She's in a household. You're in a household. I'm in a household. So now you have 4 people from 4 different households gathering.
I guess we're going to be breaking the law.
Privately, right? What am I caught on? I just think that it just sucks. It sucks to fucking do that to people. And I think that we're getting to the point now where people, and I was just telling this to someone, people are fucking fed up with it. And you know what people want to do? People want to hug, and people want to fucking high five, and they want to kiss, and they want to fucking, hold one another, because this is fucking a shitty time. And what we've learned, and I just saw this stat, and I think that you have it written down, is that this is no way to fucking live life. This sucks. And not to say that that COVID isn't bad and the coronavirus isn't bad and that the pandemic isn't bad, because it is and it sucks. But I just don't know if this is any better, No,
it's not better. And, and the interesting part is it would be interesting if they really kept and gave us statistics on, the uptick in spousal abuse and child abuse and suicides. What I have written down is a very interesting article
about Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that maybe this morning.
Yeah. Well, I saw it yesterday.
Maybe it was yesterday morning. So
I'm quicker than you are.
So the statistic came out. It was a CNN pop up on my phone, and it basically said that more people have died in the last month of suicide in Japan than in total from COVID, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so
2,000 deaths total from COVID, which is...
In all of Japan?
Yeah.
Fuck. Let's go there, huh?
Yeah. 2,153 suicides in October alone. And they're saying that they're looking at like 17,000 suicides for the year. Now, Japan already has a kind of a high suicide rate. They have...
You ever hear about that forest?
What forest?
The suicide forest in Japan?
No.
Oh, let me see if that's real. Keep talking.
They already have a really high suicide rate there because they have some term, I don't know what it is, but it means like working yourself to death. Like they just, they work like, all day, every day, 12 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours. Like some of them even like, rent like little, like cubbyhole beds so that they can sleep for 2 or 3 hours and go back to work. So they don't like go home and shit. Anyway, yeah, so they already have a high suicide rate, but, yeah, that's like crazy. I mean, and it would be interesting to know, like I said, I mean, they don't, they're really free with the stats on COVID and COVID deaths, which we all know are, probably terribly inflated. But they're all, we can hear this all day long, every day, but tell us what's the suicide rate right now?
But I don't even want, yes, I do want to know that, but I also want to know with that, I want to know, give me I want to know relapse for
drug abuse
and alcohol abuse.
Yeah.
I want to know, like what you were saying, I want to know cases of spousal abuse. I mean, that stuff, you're never going to get a for sure number on those, but spousal abuse, child abuse. I want to know.
Yeah, and then we can really see which is worse.
100%.
Because to be honest with you, and again, I don't think we've had a very honest, I don't think we've had an honest accounting of the number of COVID cases. I just don't.
So it's not.
When hospitals have incentive to call a heart attack a COVID case, then.
It's not, okay, so it's not that I don't think that we have an accurate. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it is that.
The CDC said that 130,000 deaths were probably misclassified as COVID deaths. It shouldn't have been. So at the time we had 240,000 deaths in the States. So if you take 130 of those away, we talked about this last week. This is our math problem.
This commercial is so fucked. Like,
Trumpy bear.
Are you sure you don't want one for Christmas?
No, fuck no.
The thing is hideous.
I know. What am I going to do with a Trumpy bear?
And just so you know, if you got this and you fucking cuddled with this before you cuddled with
with your blanket,
the blanket with my face on it.
By the way, my friend Ellie's son is engaged, and I asked her last night. I said, when are they getting married? She goes, well, they don't know because nobody's planning weddings.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple clients that I've talked to that were in that situation where,
and Oliver's like, I want to get married when people can hug each other. Well, it's like I said, it's probably going to be a couple years before that happens again. Yeah,
I mean, it's starting to get to a point, right, where I think we have to really look at what is worse. And I think that people have to do what is best for them. And that sucks. That sucks to say that. But I mean, we've talked about this both publicly and privately. Like, I was going fucking bananas, and one of the things, in fact, I had dinner with Peter and his mother, who we've had on the podcast.
Oh, Robin was there?
Yeah, on Friday. And one of the things that Robin said was,
not tonight.
No, last week.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Robin said was, she goes, I want to go around and I want everyone to say something that they're thankful for. And one of the things I said was that I was very thankful to have people like Peter and Caitlin in my life during this time, to be able to have been there and to
and you said you were thankful for your mom Sandy, right?
And then it went into the I'm also thankful for my mom Sandy. You can find us on the app and Spotify, and you need to get a hold of us through email. It's my mom Sandy podcast at gmail.com. In fact, do I have a moment? I'm just going to pull up an episode really quick just so you guys can listen
to it during dinner.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good to fucking sit there and just be like, hey, tough cookies, everyone, don't see anyone.
I know.
Don't see fucking anybody. You can't have a gathering of anybody. I mean, that's the thing, right? It was one thing when they were like, hey, find your pod. Yeah. Right? Find your little pod of people. And then to come out.
I think they call it a bubble.
A bubble. And then to come out 25 days before Christmas?
Yeah. No gathering.
Just over 3 weeks
before.
Well,
it's over on the 21st of December, so it won't be good
It goes to the 20th.
So wait, I guess airlines can't fly either, because isn't that a public gathering?
Well, that's the thing. Is that, see, and that's the whole thing, is that it's like.
Can't ride on a bus?
It's so fucked, because it's like, I've always said, you want to close everything? Close everything. Close it all the fuck down.
Okay, but if we're going to do that, then I think we need to take the salaries of those government officials that are our almighty leaders and rulers, and don't let them get paid either. Let them live on fucking unemployment, if it's even available for them.
I said in the very beginning, and you can go back, I said, look, if the government officials want to collect their fucking shit, that's fine. That's great. Pause everything. Pause everything else. Right?
I don't know.
But just pause. Everything's on pause. There's no mortgage.
But wait, you're gonna pay the government officials their entire salary, and then you're gonna tell them that they don't have to pay their mortgage?
Well, they don't
get the pause.
I'm saying the general public.
I mean, think about this before we implement this.
I'm saying, all right, let's cut this out.
Cut that part out. Let's put this part in.
Look, I'm just saying, right? It should have been something way back when, where it was like everything was paused, and that's just how we should have handled it. And I think that it would have eased.
Well, they basically opened up unemployment for many people that they normally don't give unemployment to, which I think, and that $1,200 check, which is not a lot, but the extra $600 that the federal government was kicking in every week was certainly beneficial. Now, the problem with that is that even though that ran out at the end of July, and then Trump implemented FEMA funds so that we got an extra, $300 a week?
But I think that was only even for
that was like 4 or 5 weeks. I think it was 5 weeks. But that's all that the money was. That's all. And in other words, he exhausted that fund. And all the while, our Congress people are, getting paid and trying to work out some kind of relief for us, which they just can't get together and figure out. Leave out all the bullshit. Let's save people's livelihoods. Let's save people's businesses. We don't need to save the state of California if they can't fucking handle their fiscal responsibilities. That's their problem. But this is not about that. This is about COVID relief. And the fact of the matter is there are people that cannot work now because of COVID.
Well, and that's the thing. And it's so fucked up to sit there and say, you can't work. Oh, and by the way, you know what else you can't do? You can't see anybody.
Yeah.
So it's like, to go back to like the suicide rates, right? Yeah. At what point do people go and say, you know what? Fuck this. I'm over this. This sucks. And I mean, look,
well, I think again, because I've, just a few weeks ago you came here and you were ranting and
yeah, I mean, look, I was going to say, I don't want to make this big secret, but I mean, we talked a few weeks back where I was just like, look, I don't know if I want to do this, because this sucks, You know, and you were like, yeah, well, you know, and look, like we talked and you were like, you know, this sucks for everybody, right?
But my point to you at the time, and my point to anybody who feels like this is a hopeless situation, is that it's not always going to be this way. You know, they've developed therapeutics to help cure the disease. They're developing vaccines. You know, I do believe there's herd immunity that's going to be, you know, eventually is going to be here. So my point is that it's not always going to be this way, and you need to think forward. You can't just think like, oh, yeah, today's shitty. Well, today is shitty.
And I also think that it's important, and this goes against everything that they're saying, but I think that it's important to find, you know, a couple people or a couple things that you can do that involve people that give you that sense of normalcy. You know, like there's been a handful of things that I've done during these last 9 months, whether it's going for a hike or, I mean, even just a few weeks ago, I had a poker game with some boys, Rodman, you know, and
in person.
Yeah. We were all naked. No big deal. And,
but you had masks on, right?
Just the masks. Yeah.
Cool.
We're sword fighting under the table.
Did you get
like
a picture of that? Because I seem to remember the dog picture of the poker table with the dogs.
Similar.
The naked men with masks on at the poker table.
Talking real estate.
Cool.
Just talking some good.
Love it.
Some Ramadan.
I'd like to see that picture. Maybe we can post it on Instagram later.
I'll talk to the boys about it. Yeah. But, you know, it was funny because you have that moment, right, where you're like, you forget.
Yeah, you think life is like where it used to be, and then you go to hug somebody goodbye, and you go, "Oh,
but I think that's so. But I think that's so important to have those moments, you know, because you need the break of what's happening,
the monotony
of
the pandemic.
Don't do anything, the monotony of don't see anyone, the monotony of, you know, don't touch anyone. Like
I'll tell you what really concerns me is, you know, I think that we're going to survive this, but what comes next?
Yeah.
You know, what comes next from China? What are they going to send us next?
Well, I mean, look, you would hope that whatever comes next, wherever it comes from, we have a better idea of maybe how to grab it before it gets to where it got. Because there was a turning point in all this where we lost. And I think even like Dr. Fauci was like, hey, so we've lost the battle. Like we're not going to.
I don't know. I mean, you know, here's the deal. You can't control the battle if you're not controlling. You know, we didn't close our borders everywhere. All states didn't close borders and not allow people to travel from state to state. So if you don't do that, then it's going to be spread. God only knows how. I don't have any fucking idea where it comes from. When you've got people socially distancing and wearing masks, and yet we have this big spike in cases. I mean, I don't really get it, but you know, whatever. That's the way it is. So I don't know. We didn't do it. We didn't close everything down. I mean, New Zealand is like, you know, I mean, but really they've closed everything.
Yeah. And that's what we should have done. You know, and I hate to say it. I mean, we should have had that moment where it should have been, hey, go home, right? And we had all those Americans that came back from fucking Europe, right? And that was like a clusterfuck at the airports, right? That was not dealt with the right way.
Well, and the other problem I think is that, you know, we tell people to self-quarantine. We give them the option of being adults and doing what's right. Now, are people really self-quarantining? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's a question. I mean, if I have no support and I have to get groceries, then, you know, and maybe somebody that I know was exposed to COVID 5 days ago, you know, I guess I still go out. As a matter of fact, I heard a doctor on the radio who said, because this lady had called into the show and she had said, I'm trying to think of what the timeline was, but she's an older lady. She's like 70 years old. She was, hung out with somebody who, hung out with somebody who I think later came to find out that they had been exposed to the COVID, and they hung out within a period of time where the 70-year-old could get it. And she asked the doctor, she said, should I self-quarantine or what should I do? And the lady had asthma and some other underlying health conditions. And the doctor said, you know, you don't need to self-quarantine until you have symptoms. If you have symptoms, then that's a different story. But, you kind of need to go on with your life. You just can't be like, oh, somebody I know, 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
7 degrees of COVID?
Yeah.
So somebody I know, 7 degrees of COVID, had it. So now what do? Now I stay home for 14 days and do nothing. So I don't know.
Yeah. And and even I just talked to someone, I was texting with someone the other day that tested positive, and, she was telling me, she's like, yeah, this is brutal. It sucks. She's like, I've got a fucking killer headache and I'm fatigued and I'm achy, and she's like, but I also cooked, I cooked Thanksgiving dinner on all day Thursday. And I was like,
for who?
Well, she she has a son, and I think her father lives there. But, I was kind of like, well, you're not that sick.
No, not
you're sick, but I've been sick before where I'm like, fucking, I ain't getting out of it. I'm like, making a piece of toast is fucking rough.
Really? I would not make a Thanksgiving dinner if I.
So I was like, I was like, you're a fucking rock star, holy shit. But but what I'm saying is that I think that there's, I don't fucking know anymore. It's like there's so many people that are getting it, and they're just like, yeah, I've got it, and it sucked, and it was bad, and I became better. And look, not to say that who fucking knows if in 3 years fucking eyeballs start falling out. People are like, oh, by the way,
I had COVID.
The 3 year symptom of COVID is you just wake up one morning and your eyeballs fall out of your head. Or
yikes,
your brain just starts leaking out of your nose. You're just like, well, fuck.
No, that's Ebola.
Is that what happens?
Your
brain,
you liquefy. Your body, your insides liquefy.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah, you seep out fluids, and
oof,
those are highly contagious.
They just all come out of my fingers because I pick my fingers from anxiety.
Maybe.
So, do you want to know the suicide forest in Japan?
Yeah, tell me about the suicide forest. Is it a pretty place?
Ekohagari. Oh, this is gonna be fucked.
Come on! I was born there. Let me.
Aokigahara. Aokigahara. Here, hold on. Put your hand in my mouth, and I'll say it better.
Okay.
It sometimes is referred to the most popular site for suicides in Japan.
Is there a picture? I'm hoping it's a nice, pretty
look at how fucking beautiful that looks.
Oh, it looks like a good place to kill yourself. Oh, let me see that. How do you spell it?
Aokigahara.
Akigahara.
Okay, that's what I said.
All right.
So it in 2003, 105 bodies were found in the forest, exceeding the previous record of 78 in 2002.
How do they do the suicide?
God, you're morbid. In 2010, the police recorded more than 200 people having attempted suicide in the forest, of whom 54 completed the act. Suicides are said to increase during March, the end of the fiscal year in Japan. As of 2011, the most common means of suicide in the forest were hanging or drug overdose.
Oh.
In recent years, local officials have stopped publicizing the numbers in an attempt to decrease Aokigahara's association with the suicide.
Wow.
And the rate of suicide has led officials to place a sign at the forest entry urging suicidal visitors to seek help and not take their own lives. Annual body searches have been conducted by police, volunteers, and journalists since 1970.
Wow.
Jesus.
That was a long time ago. Wow, that's kind of weird. I wonder who started that trend. Somebody had to be the first, the first 100.
Or the first one.
The first 100. One, but it needs to catch on, Oh yeah, my friend just committed suicide over at Arakara.
And then the guy's like, oh, that's actually not
I never thought about that, but yeah, that's a good place.
That is a beautiful place.
I wouldn't mind looking up at the trees as I was dying. I'm surprised that they don't do more like the harikari, when they stab themselves.
Would you think they're just walking into the forest with a samurai sword and no one's stopping them?
No, a samurai knife.
They just got that concealed in their windbreaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It doesn't have to be a sword.
So I wanted to also touch on this because I think this goes along with the whole COVID thing, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. So two things. I think Dr. Ferrer said that...
Who is not a doctor, by the way. Go ahead.
Not
a medical doctor.
If we don't see...
Not a scientist.
Cases coming down
Oh yeah, they're going to do more drastic measures.
Yeah, they will have more strict stay-at-home orders than ever before. What I don't like that it sounds like we're being threatened.
I know.
That is something that I feel like is. Like,
I want
feel
compliance, and if I can't get compliance by asking you nicely now, I'm going to threaten you.
Like I feel like there's a better way of.
I feel like I'm in fucking nursery school again, you know? Like, if you don't do what you're told to do, then you can go sit in the hallway. Okay, fuck you. I'm going to go sit in the hallway.
Did you ever see that movie?
That's what I did.
You ever see The Breakfast Club?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you know the scene where they're all go to detention?
Yes.
And then he's just like, I fucking forget the Nailer? I don't know.
Teacher?
No, the bad kid.
Oh, what's his name? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I have the face.
Yeah.
I don't
he's
know
got like
what
the
his
leather
name
jacket
is.
and like the glove and the bandana on the boot. And he's just like, you know, the principal guy is just like, do you remember the principal's name?
No.
And the principal's just like, okay, that's it. You're getting a week of detention. He's like, yeah, so what? And he's like, all right, that's it. Make it 2. And he's just like, yeah, you want to give me 3? He's like, that's it. You got 3. And he's like, is that the best you can do? He's like, 4. Keep pushing me.
It's like an auction.
Yeah, I was just like,
did I hear 4?
Like
Can we go for 5? 5?
All the fucking, you know, like LA County right now, you know, like Dr. Fauci and Newsom and Ferrer are all like sitting around the table, and they're just
Garcetti, add Garcetti in there because he's a big shit too.
And we're like, you know, they're like, all right, you're not seeing any friends for Thanksgiving. It's like, oh yeah? And it's like, all right, that's it. No family either. And it's just like, yeah, well,
okay, no gatherings of more than 1.
Well, maybe I'll get on a plane. Oh, you think so? You're not traveling now?
Yeah, not traveling now. We've shut down all the airports.
Okay, that's fine. No big deal. We'll go outside and eat. You think you're going to do outdoor dining? Boom,
no.
Ban. Keep at me. I can do more.
Really? I know. It's just gross. I think that they've...
Please stop touching my phone.
I think that they've overplayed their hand.
Well, and look, it doesn't fucking help that you have, what was it, 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago that Newsom was out fucking having dinner with his buddies? You know? I mean, like, that doesn't... You just look like a fucking schmuck now. You know?
Well, yeah.
People already fucking hated you. You know? So now you just look like, that's fucking even worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Newsom has a lot of respected followers within the state of California, especially now. Like I said, I think they just get too arbitrary, these rules and regulations.
I would like to see some numbers from Florida, because I feel like a few months ago Florida was like, all right, fuck it, we're over it, no more masks, do whatever you want. Like, where are those numbers at?
Well, you're not going to see those unless you go searching for them, probably on Bing. Is my guess is nobody wants you to see them.
Such a fucking conspiracy. I fucking love that the shit you have on TV right now that's playing in the background of all this is called The Men Who Killed Kennedy. Like, you were watching some like straight conspiracy news media shit.
The Men Who Killed Kennedy.
Yes. Should we stop the podcast and turn it on, make some popcorn, watch it?
I don't have any popcorn. Sure. Yeah, no, I don't know what's on TV right now.
The Men Who Killed Kennedy. All right, one more statistic I want to give you, and then we can wrap this thing up. Newsom said...
You mean gruesome?
300,000...
That's for you, Peter.
300,000 vaccines will be here by mid-December.
Well, no, I thought that...
Of the Pfizer. The Pfizer.
The Pfizer? 300,000? It's barely going to make a dent.
Okay, but is it a start, right? I mean, that's...
Yeah. Know. I mean, I'm not... You know, that I'm not going to be first in line anyway, so.
Let me see.
I want to make sure that.
Newsom. I just want to make sure I got this phone.
Just so you know,
please stop touching
Ezekiel Manuel is one of Biden's picks for something in the health department.
California will be receiving 327,000 doses of the new Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine.
Pfizer.
Of the new Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine
like the Antarctica.
In mid-December. Transparency, equity, and safety will continue to be our top priorities as we begin the distribution process for phase 1.
What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
You know what I think that means?
Is that the state of California made that?
Yeah.
Said that?
Yeah.
Transparency, equity, and what?
Safety.
I don't understand what that means. What does that mean? Do you know?
Well, to be transparent is to be invisible.
Really, we don't want
that might have something to do with the side effects, maybe. equity. Well, you have equity in the house, so maybe this is for homeowners.
No,
safety.
No, it's not, because you know what? See, Newsom did that too. He changed the goalpost when it came to closing things down, because he decided that we don't want to look at the entire state. We want to look at the distribution of cases within certain economical groups of people, like, is it affecting the poor people more? And if it is, then we got to close everything down. There's got to be equity in who it affects. So if it's going to affect the poor people a lot, I guess it has to affect the middle class and the upper class people as well. And if it's not affecting everybody equally, then we got to close everything down. So is that what they mean with equity? What are we going to give it to underprivileged people first? I mean, wouldn't you think it would go to healthcare workers and people most at risk, whatever groups that might be? I mean, they do say that blacks and Hispanics are more likely to get it.
At this point, I have no fucking idea. I think that this is going to be, I mean, look, even just the way, take out the weird lingo that they use, but being like, oh, as we roll out the vaccine in phase 1, I mean, it sounds like this whole thing, right? There's some like weird, there's like some weird fucking.
We own you. It's not really a vaccine. What they're putting into you is
dry ice
microchip.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Stop.
So now they could really monitor everything. They didn't think that Alexa and Siri were enough.
If I have a HomePod Mini, do I need to get this? Or
yes,
because she's already monitoring.
Sorry, but we need to track you.
If my car is electric, does that, because it's pretty much just sending my coordinates to old Elon? Is that okay?
Well, Elon does not share his information with the NSA.
National Safety Advisory.
That's it.
I don't like when they say, it sounds like we're in like a bad movie. I would rather this, like,
You mean the phase 1 part?
I would rather it be some shit where they're like they show a commercial.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, so, we know COVID's the thing. COVID's really fucked up. So, do me a favor. Head down to your nearest CVS pharmacy.
Get yourself a vaccine.
You can get your COVID vaccine, and just make sure that you come back 3 weeks to the day, and we'll give you a second dose. Yeah. And hey, by the way, some side effects, and then they could like speed that part up. Some side effects. Aches, fatigue. Fine.
If you're allergic, don't take it. Right. Okay, great.
If you already had COVID, just stay away from COVID,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fine. But I think that when you start doing shit like
phase 1,
when it starts being like this shit like elderly people to the left for phase 1 vaccination. Young folks to the right for phase 1 vaccination. Healthcare responders and first officials to the front for phase 1 vaccination.
God, you don't even need a megaphone.
Like, it starts to be...
I hope you don't have COVID, because you probably just put lots of droplets on me.
It starts to be weird. It starts to be fucking weird. You know? Like... or if it's
who decides?
Or even more so, like, you want to talk about getting really weird? Then it goes to the place, and I'm not saying that this is what they're going to do, but if it ever gets to the place where it's like, Hispanics to the left for phase 1 vaccination.
Really?
African Americans to the right for phase 1 vaccination. Caucasians diagonal left for phase 1 vaccine. Like, what the fuck?
Women to the left.
Women to the left for phase 1 vaccination. Men above the age of 50 to the right for phase 1 vaccination. What the fuck are we living in right now? What is this?
It's a product of Alexa and Siri.
No, it's not. And then they have a clipboard, and they're just like, they're sitting there and they're like, okay, what's your name? Sandy Fasten? Let's see. Pull up Sandy's file really quick. Alexa, pull up Sandy's file.
The amazing part is that we can do that for a vaccination, but we probably can't do that for voting.
Look, I would be surprised if this goes as smoothly as they say. They pull up your file, right? And it's like, Alexa, pull up the file on Sandy Fasten. She's like, Sandy Fasten has eaten out at restaurants 4 times. And they're like, okay, 4 times. You're going to have to go to the back of the line, man. I'm glad
Sandy Fasten has not had a flu shot ever. Okay, then you don't qualify. Sorry.
Like how fucked is, like, when the DMV was like, oh, you need to get the real ID.
Yeah.
What a mess that was. We can't even get people to get driver's license. I never got it. But you can't even get people to get driver's license effectively.
Ugly ass picture.
You can't get people on a plane effectively. Like, how fucking, like,
well, Qantas is doing
if you're boarding in line A, line up here, in Group B. And how many motherfuckers from Group B are like, I think they said B? It's like, no, they said A. They said fucking A. Your group's not up.
Qantas is not going to let you fly unless you have proof of a vaccine.
No one's going to let you do anything. You're not going to be able to fucking fly. You're not going to be able to go to sporting events or concerts. We're all going to be wearing these weird fucking like backstage pass.
That's what I said.
Laminates.
It's like it's not a vaccine you're getting. It's a vaccine / microchip.
It's not a stop.
They can trace you,
Mom. People
everywhere you go.
People listen to our podcast.
Listen, if they
they listen to us for real news. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just stop it.
That's such bullshit.
In your Newsmax shit. It's your new news station. I'm on to you. Conspiracy Channel.
It's not the Conspiracy Channel.
All right. So what do you think about the vaccine? You gonna get it?
I already said no.
All right. Well, lucky for
not
you.
Right away.
Lucky for you, I have a dose that I stole off the Pfizer truck.
Plus, I don't want the Pfizer truck. Plus, I don't really want to take that one that's like super cold, and has the. I want to see what comes out. I want to be able to pick. I want to be able to pick the one I want with less side effects, less pain. Well documented. I mean, maybe 6 months into it, I might think about it.
Maybe you could go in and have them fix your foot and give you the
fuff.
Yeah.
Fix the fuff.
Fix the fuff and give you the COVID vaccine the same day.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you want to have the COVID vaccine when you're getting the fuff surgery.
What a fucked up situation we're going to be in if in like 5 years, like all this like research, or 10 years from now, all this research comes out and they're just like,
the vaccine is worse than the disease.
No, not even, well, I mean, possibly, but like, they're just like, okay, well, so we got that one wrong. Actually, it's just a bad flu,
Listen, there's lots of doctors out there that are saying that it's just a bad flu, and that it's been politicized and
you know what I'd like to see sometimes
exaggerated.
It's 100% been politicized. I think it's bad. I think it's deadly and bad. But I sometimes I would like to see Dr. Fauci with like some other doctors talking. Like there's no other, like he doesn't work with like any other doctors. He's fucking by himself all the time.
That's because they're not allowed to have meetings of more than one person.
It's a private gathering.
That's right. It's called a private gathering. So of course he's alone all the time. That's the way he keeps himself from getting it.
They're like all sitting in the room. They're like, so when do you guys want to ban public and private gatherings? He's like, well, can we do November 12th? Newsom's like, I got a lunch date on the 13th. I can't do that.
Going to the French Laundry again.
Going to the French. They've already confirmed my reservation.
I told them I'd open them up on the 22nd of December, so I could go for what we call outdoor dining. Although it's 3 walls, 1 ceiling, and a sliding glass door.
Do you guys want to?
Don't call that outdoor.
Do you guys want to ban this right before Thanksgiving? Garcetti's like, actually, I got family coming in from out of town. Can we wait? How about Friday? You guys want to do Black Friday?
There's a shitload of stories like that. Who was it who? The governor of Colorado who told everybody to stay home and not travel, and then the next day left to fly to Mississippi to be with his family.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Unfucking
I know.
believable.
It's like,
here's the thing. All you have to do is one fucking thing. If you're going to say it,
then you
just
better,
fucking
you
do
better
it.
do it. Yeah. Because guess what? We're all on to you.
Yeah, it's not like we're living in fucking prohibition where, you're like, hey, don't fucking drink. And then you have like the bootleggers downstairs making the fucking moonshine and no one knows about it, but like you're going to get photographed. You're like, people know.
People know who you are. Yeah. There you go. That's how Gavin Newsom got fucked at the French Laundry. And had he not gotten caught, he would never have come out and said, oh, I did a bad thing. I went to eat with a bunch of people without masks.
Could you imagine though, like how fucking had he not, like had no one photographed him or whatever, and then like 3 days later he's like calls this like emergency press conference and he's like, all right,
I'm gonna confess.
I fucked up. Which I would be like, yeah, okay, tell me, give it to me straight,
Yeah, but well. And
then he's just like, I'm stepping down, and like police just rush him. He's like, I'm turning myself in. Arrest me.
All right,
I'm done.
There you go. They have arrested some people here in California, by the way. I saw some video of somebody there arresting for something. Can't remember what, but whatever. It's just crazy. I guess you just have to. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I think. Well, I mean, there have been lawsuits against the state as far as infringing upon our personal freedoms. And I think that that's an important thing. I mean, they just had one in New York. The Supreme Court came out and said that, that the synagogues and the churches are allowed to be open, and that Cuomo is, in fact, infringing on their rights to, worship.
Look, so, I think that at some point, and I don't know what that point is, but I think that at some point you have to let people do the shit that they think that they can do. And if they get sick, that's on them, right? And so now, there's that, and we've talked about it on the podcast, there's that risk reward thing, right? It's like, what am I willing to risk for what kind of reward, And, I think you need to be smart about it. I think you need to be serious about it. But I think that, this idea again of don't do anyone, don't see anyone, don't leave the house, not going to work anymore. 9 months in, this is not going to work. I'm sorry. And it sucks. It sucks to say that, but
I know. Was that statewide or was that just
what I read was LA County.
Purple.
I don't know what, I think it's like 52 counties or something in California.
I think San Francisco and,
which by the way, I would love to have a South Bay County maybe, because I don't feel like we're
LA. No, yeah. I don't want to be LA. I think San Francisco and I'm thinking Santa Clara, something up there, went into maybe lockdown, stay-at-home orders. I don't know. I can't keep track of it. It's too fucking difficult. And what's the difference? 20% capacity here, 25% capacity there. I mean, I'm not going to do any of that stuff anyway.
And one of my clients brought up a good point. We need to wrap this up because it's getting long. But one of my clients brought up a good point too. They were like, okay, so like 30% capacity for non-essential retail. So what does that mean? Who's counting?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is how how do they keep track of that?
Honestly, if capacity is like 1,000 people, right? So you're only letting 300 people in through the door now. So again,
how many people are going out and how many people are coming in?
Who's counting that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we were at a point. I remember we were at a point where I was going into Target and there was a fucking chick with a fucking clicker, and every time someone would come out, they would let someone in. And I think in Home Goods is still doing that. There's definitely stores I've been into, but for the most part, most of the fucking stores are just go go in, wear a mask. You had to wear a mask, which is fine. I don't mind wearing a mask. It sucks, but I don't mind wearing a mask. I'm not this anti-masker kind of where you're at now. I think masks help, and I think that. Well,
I'm not an anti-masker, but I don't think they really work.
I think
they give us a false sense of security that this is going to protect me. When in essence, you look at the studies, they say 85% of the people that get COVID either wear masks all the time or most of the time.
But did you read the study about those 85% of those people?
No. What?
65% of those people don't wash their hands after they poop, and then they rub their eyes.
And the COVID is being passed from their poop to their hands to their eyes.
That's how they have dirty eyes.
That's bullshit. You're so
literally, that is bullshit in their eyes.
You're full of shit, Josh.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to find something else to talk about.
All right, so next week, guys, we'll have another COVID episode.
Really?
All right, so look,
COVID 2.0.
So I just want to say, not that this is whatever, but tomorrow's December 1st, and I want to say that we've it's been quite the. We still have 1 month left, but it's been fucking quite the year.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I like to kind of wrap it up in a sentimental kind of way. I feel like
the problem is that just so you know, just because we end the year doesn't mean all the shit goes away.
No, not
nice
at all.
If it did,
we're gonna wake up. We're gonna wake up. I had a couple clients who were like, "Oh, I can't wait for this year to be over." I was like, "It ain't gonna matter." I was like, "January 1st, we're gonna wake up. It's gonna be the same shit show.
We're still gonna be in COVID.
We're gonna be doing this for at least probably well into the summer. Hopefully, we get the fall and the holidays of next year kind of better. But I want to say that I feel like me and you have taken this fairly serious over the past few months, 9 months. And
I know, a few months, 9 months.
And I'm glad that
we could have a baby by now.
Okay, that's absolutely disgusting.
Weird.
Disgusting. I'm glad that you are. I'm glad that you're healthy. The FUF is a situation, but that'll get addressed at some point.
The FUF will get addressed at some point.
And
if I live long enough.
Oh, here we go.
Well, you never know. I mean, I could get the COVID before I get the fuff taken care of. So, and who knows what the COVID
I'm like, Doc, what happened? They're like, oh, her fuff's inflamed.
Her fuff is infected
with
the COVID. Fuff. It's a COVID infected
We
fuff.
haven't actually seen this, but apparently if your foot's broken and then it healed by itself, but it's still...
You can get COVID
in the fuff.
That's right. All right, let's wrap this up.
All right, so next Tuesday, you want to tell everyone how they can get a hold of us if they need
mymomsandypodcast@gmail.com.
Boom, and
at My Mom Sandy Podcast on Instagram.
Look at you, huh? You fucking should have been in sales, you.
I should have. I didn't even read that.
Wow.
I just remembered it.
And once again, thank you guys all for listening. This is, we're trying to... I wanted to have fun at the beginning. I feel like the beginning was kind of boring, and then we get all heated on that.
I think the beginning was fun, and the COVID stuff was like depressing and gross.
Yeah, it's news. Some people don't know about what's happening in the world.
I'm glad they're getting their news from us.
Rodman told me he doesn't even... He replaced the Apple News app on his phone with
the
My Mom Sandy podcast app.
Well, then we should be doing a news podcast every day. Podcast.
Do you want to? I can hook it up. I can leave this stuff hooked up for you.
Nope. Okay. I think I'm done.
All right. Well, that's it for today, guys. Be good. Be safe.
Don't get the COVID.
Guys and girls. I try to get out of the habit of saying guys, but guys and girls, be safe.
Guys and girls.
Be good to one another. I always say that. Be kind. Be nice to each other. And honestly, if you're at that point where you need to hug a loved one or a friend,
do it.
Get tested before and then
just do it. Like Nike says,
give them a hug.
Just do it.
I don't think I have anything else.
No.
All right. You want to give them a kiss? Give them a kiss and there you go. Ooh, yeah.
Night, everybody. All right, everybody be safe out there. All right, very good.